I'm Mars Frequency.
I'm Mariah the Soul.
And you're watching
From Soul.
Two Bars. You thought we wasn't going to be back.
Yeah, we're back to back to back. We're going to get real annoying, so get used to us.
We're here. We're queer. We're ready to stay. Just kidding. All right. Again, eventful week.
Too much. I'm telling you, we're going to be busy. We're going to be so busy with this little era we're in, because trying to keep up for me alone is just like crazy.
Just so much happened since I last saw you last week.
Since we left you guys alone.
So how was your week? Let's tap in.
My week, it's been some changes were made, but it's things that I needed to do. By the time this is out, don't know, but I'm quitting my job. Yeah, I decided that I'm at a point right now where I've been busting my ass working way too much. I'm ready to go down to like part-time and just have more time to focus on other things, put maybe a little more focus into this.
Okay.
Yeah.
What made you want to make this decision? Because I know that you were moving from one job to this one, right?
I feel like for the past year, I kind of like to distract myself from other things, dove into work and just nonstop work constantly. And I was getting to the point of feeling burnt out. I feel like I'm way too young to be feeling this burnt out. And I'm in a space right now where I'm able to chill a little bit in terms of like the money I'm making. And, you know, I still have responsibilities, but not the same pressure. So I just want to kind of take advantage right now of the situation I'm in. I love the field I'm in, but when you work too hard, it can make you fall out of love with that field.
I'm happy that you made this decision because I know how much of a hard worker you are, but honestly, you haven't taken a break at all.
I didn't like the fact that I had to sit there and squeeze in personal time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it should be a balance. So I'm trying to create that for myself this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Putting who first? Putting Mariah first. My week was really good.
Yeah. You know, it was a good night when you lost one nail, but you lost two. So you had a super fun night. Where were you in the city?
Our friend Violet had come into town from Chicago.
Okay.
She ended up wanting to go to Paragon. And Paragon's even closing anyway. So like we were like, we got to get there before it closes.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, she came. We had fun. I had a blast. It's so crazy because I was dancing and my nail fell off and I saw and watched it sit on the floor until it was like a perfect time for me to grab it.
We'll keep this on lock. Gotta come back for you later.
I was like watching the nail while everybody's
so
like,
how'd the second nail go? That one's a mystery.
That one is a complete mystery. I could not tell you. I got in the car on the way home. It was like, where's my other?
Listen, at least you had a good time.
You know?
Let's
jump right into it because the prison planet, Trump's administration is coming in hot. Let me just start there. They're coming in hot. There have been raids across the country and you guys, there's been people getting taken from the airport.
When they're trying to enter schools.
Been a lot of schools that haven't even let ICE in when they showed up to their door. You know what I'm saying? And it's not just Mexicans, you guys. I don't know who said that.
Super want to touch on this.
Yeah, hit it, girl.
Just because I took notes, because I just want to be as correct as possible when I speak on things, especially that are like sensitive to me and I know are sensitive to other people. A lot on TikTok, a lot on X, I'm seeing this discourse of like, this is not our fight, stay out of it. A lot of people maybe feel ways because of those polls that came out, the statistics at the polls. And I know I spoke lightly on it, that we have to be very careful with the media that's put out to us and what they're trying to do to divide and conquer is a thing. And I do think when a lot of the protesting was going on for Breonna Taylor, a lot of the BLM protesting that was going on, I feel like higher powers saw an issue with how much we were all standing together and how much we were all like ready to overthrow this fuck ass government that we have. So just a couple things that I want people to keep in mind, that people who are getting deported were unable to vote. So these people that are getting deported are not the same people that were at the polls and don't represent that community that we did see of different people of color that were voting for certain things, because immigrants, they're not able to vote, especially when they don't have citizenship. So to kind of feel like, oh, well, this is deserved because of what happened. I understand it to an extent. I understand there are people, and me being a Latino, I understand there are people in the Latino community that did vote for Trump. Also, as you said, immigration is not a Hispanic only issue. I think it's very difficult when you don't come from a city like New York or a place like Chicago where you don't understand that melting pot of immigrants that come in but there are all types of immigrants. We've seen people from Haiti getting deported, Jamaican. We've seen people from Africa getting deported. Like, this is definitely an attack on all people of color.
Chinese people have gotten deported. And various Hispanic groups have been deported. It's anybody who is in the country illegally.
Also, yesterday, ICE trucks were reported around, they said, from Bushwick area down to downtown Brooklyn. Now, this is what I mean by New York is a very different place, because if you understand the people that live in these places, Bushwick is high. That area is it is a Hispanic population a lot there. But then when you talk about downtown Brooklyn, we're talking about more of different Caribbean type of people over there. So there is a target to all people. And I think it is important for us to understand this, but it isn't just like a South American thing. We have to be careful with trusting the same media that pushed the pro-Trump agenda, that gave us these statistics about the poll. I do feel like anyone who really feels like this isn't their fight, you helped prove something that the CIA has been known to do, which is put out this propaganda and things to divide people and make us feel like, oh, we shouldn't all band together and fight. This is definitely a time for us to stick together. There's more of us than there are of them. You know what I'm saying? So I just think it's not the time for us to divide. I'm saying this as a Puerto Rican woman that has no risk of being deported. You know what I'm saying? Like, this affects me and bothers me in a different way than it might bother other people. But it is definitely a time that we need to really be paying attention to, like, what's being put out there. Like,
I completely agree.
Yeah.
I completely. I just I get both. I get it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that is not going to do any good.
Yeah.
For the people saying that, everybody will start feeling it when your groceries are affected, because it's like a lot of immigrants work in these farms. A lot of immigrants do all of these things. So all of these things that you guys are like, I'm going to stay out of it for, it'll affect you too. But you'll see.
But like you said, a lot of people aren't going to realize it until it does affect them directly. And it's going to be kind of an I told you so moment.
Yep, and not going to be long. We're going to wait, we're going to see, and we're going to report, and we're going to keep you guys updated. Like, comment, subscribe. Speaking of little fires, Danielle Renee, how about you come to the front, child?
I'd also like to point out, I saw the arrest video, and that is the first time I ever saw an arson not get handcuffed when they got arrested. But
But
that's neither here nor there, but that's a different privilege. Yeah.
But yes, so Danielle Bertofsky is a lady that got kicked out of a bar for being drunk and belligerent in Puerto Rico. And so she decided the best plan of action would be to freaking arson a whole entire building and buildings in the perimeter. Like, I'm just completely surprised. I'm completely shocked.
I've been drunk and angry, okay? I just want to say that. Mars, you have seen me drunk and angry. Never have I ever sat there and said, let me fill a tank, because she filled up one of the red things. She carried it back over there. They said that. I think she got it from the B&B. So fill something up with gasoline instead of building on fire. Never have I been that drunk. That is a hatred that she has that's deeper than just being drunk and angry for being thrown out of somewhere.
Yep.
That is privilege. That is why Puerto Ricans are feeling the way they're feeling about people coming to their island that don't know how to appreciate the island.
Mm-hmm.
It's disgusting.
This is a prime example of someone privileged being told no. Because that's what I want you guys to understand, is that she was told that she had to leave a bar because she was belligerent. The police took her home, and she decided that wasn't enough. So she decided, actually, let me come back to the restaurant later on to then say that she wants to get back in. They told her no, she had to leave. Then she decides to go to a gas station, buy a bottle of gas, bring it to the location, and light it on fire. I'm going to say it was calculated, because she got on the next thing smoking back to the States, as if she didn't just do that, as if she wouldn't get caught, as if she didn't know that Puerto Rico is a part of the United States.
Probably. So I'm wondering, she's going to have to face time over there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting sentence for her.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be an interesting sentence.
Yep, I just hope that she gets prosecuted by the full extent of the law, because literally were told to go to bed multiple times. The cops even walked you home. And look, here it is. There it is. Silly.
Put lives at risk. She put the businesses that people probably spent their life savings on to build these businesses to welcome tourists to our island. I really do hope that she faces the full extent of that sentence so people can know that they cannot get away with doing this.
Yep. I think that if that is not the case, it's going to be an uproar because it's disgusting what she did. There is a GoFundMe for the location, so please donate. I believe it's called Bar Mariah on GoFundMe. Go and donate if you can. And it's not just about rebuilding. It's also about these people that work there, these families that are affected. Either way, at the very least, it's going to be a lot of time before they're able to open their doors back up to the public. Bad Bunny, he's doing exactly what you would want an artist from where you're from to do, you know, to represent your culture in like such a beautiful way.
Puerto Rico is still home. And he wants to, it's a huge deal for him to do this residency there. I just hope that he brings in the right crowd into the island that's going to respect the businesses and the people there.
Yeah, let's slide on into the real. Let's talk about going back to your roots. Do you feel like you've been so disconnected from Puerto Rico and now you are wanting more to reconnect with those roots?
Yeah, definitely. It was very nostalgic for me growing up. That was the type of music he sampled. And it's one of those things that, you know, when you're younger, you don't appreciate it. But as you've known for the past couple of years, my plan is to return to Puerto Rico. And I think there's just, you ever have parts of your childhood that you just forget and then you remember those things. I never learned how to dance salsa as a kid. Like I never learned. And then when this album came out, I just was like, I wish I learned. And I think healing your inner child, you have to do that in order to understand yourself as an adult. And I think we kind of take that for granted sometimes.
Yep.
So,
and
yeah.
a part of going back to your roots is healing that, you know, that inner child, and is, you know, allowing yourself to feel those things and remember and experience those things again from when you were a kid, those traumas, all of those things within you, so that now your foundation is not built on that. Your foundation is now fresh, new, and built on understanding. You know,
we tend to forget that we are the new adults. You know, things happen in families and people tend to stop getting along and issues that tend to separate families. I realize like I'm at that age now where like I am someone's titi and I should be showing up to the birthday parties and I should be thinking about the Christmas presents and creating those memories that I had as a kid. And it healed my inner child in a way to be able to do that. It was the first Christmas I had ever spent with my father's side of the family, ever.
Wow.
Yeah, and we threw a whole Grinch-themed Christmas, and we all came dressed in our pajamas, and it was childish. Like, we're all adults, but we were just like, no, this is nice. This is fun. I think even the little things could heal you in ways that you don't even understand.
I completely agree with that. I like think about like even growing up, my mom would have cookouts all the time. All of my aunts and uncles would come. Everybody would come. Everybody had a role. Everybody would be doing something. And that was like one of the best experiences from my childhood, is those summers when all of our aunts and uncles and cousins came over. The whole town was in our backyard having a cookout. Our age group is not doing any of that. We're very individualistic, and I feel like to its detriment.
I think we don't understand. Like it's a responsibility to ourselves, I feel like, to heal that inner child and to create the adulthood that we want, and just understand that now I look at my little nieces and nephews and I'm like, wow, I remember when I was your age, and I remember having that cool aunt that'll sit down and talk to me and like come into the kids' room and chill with it. So I try to do that now because I started to realize I wasn't really having that with them. They wouldn't remember me because I don't come around like that. And sometimes I felt othered because I don't have kids, so I won't show up. I was just like, nah, that's not, I want them to know me and I want to be that fun person for them. And it heals me. It heals me. Yeah, even because as a kid, I love this cake. I don't know if you've had tres leche cake.
Oh yeah, it's my favorite cake.
I know how to make it, girl. I gotta make it for you. I learned how to make it.
Seriously.
I do it with the strawberries on top, everything. Like
I love tres leche cake.
But I went to my cousin's house. The kids, they were away for the weekend, so I'll still pop up over there and just like we'll have our girl time and stuff. All the cousins were over, and I was like, you know, I'm gonna bake the cake. I'm gonna bake the cake for you guys. It was so like childish and innocent, but like everyone was so excited about the cake, and I was just like, you know what, this is so little things like that. What about you? Any like traditions as a kid that you really feel like you want to bring back?
I definitely feel like it's important for me to get to Africa for sure and start creating more positive memories there. You know, I feel like I'm fulfilled in a lot of things. That's something that it pulls at my heartstrings. So I know it's something that I got to do. Classes for Egyptian belly dance and things like that. Just so that I can start to feel like my full self. Creative things start to make me feel connected to things. My plan is to switch my Duolingo to Arabic so I can just like also like brush up better and just learn the language, but like not feel like I don't know my culture, you know?
Yeah, and create a positive association, I think, with it as well. And part of healing your child is you don't take accountability for what other people may have done to you, but you take accountability for, okay, how can I now change my mind frame about these things and create better memories? And I'm really proud of you.
Like, you know how much I love travel, and it's like, it's time for me to travel there.
Yeah.
You know, and not even that I have to even like do anything special. It's just, how about I go experience this place with new, fresh, open eyes, allow myself to like have fun and be a tourist. So it's so interesting that, you know, this is one of the topics this week, because I think it's really important for everyone to find a sense of root healing. Do you want to talk about something interesting?
Let's see, because you're always finding the juicy stuff on the internet.
I found this on Reddit. Some of these stories are extremely juicy. For example, this story right here, it's a Reddit story. I don't want to give you guys the name of the Reddit. Because it's in a specific area of the Reddit sphere. Okay. I don't want y'all to know what I be looking at.
That's all right. Don't worry. We won't ask for too many details. It's a safe space, remember.
The title is, well, you can find it from the title, okay? My wife is addicted to porn. AKA porn.
Okay.
My wife hid that she was a porn addict. Okay, so this is going to be long. I'm sorry, but there's a lot. I, 26 male, have been with my wife, 25 female, since 7th grade. 13 years ago, we've been married 1 year now. Throughout our entire relationship, she made it clear that she viewed porn and masturbation as cheating. I tried to change her mind on the subject for years. Quite a long time. She eventually told me that if I don't agree, we need to split up because it meant that much to her. So I abstained. She also started saying that nudity on TV was porn, therefore cheating. So I policed myself on what was acceptable to watch. This went on for at least 8 years, if not more. I tried to respect her decision and abstain from anything that would upset her. I found out a few months ago, before we were slated to get married, that she was talking to her friends about how hot other guys were. I confronted her about it, and she said that she never meant it in that way, and that was it. That was the only thing that she was hiding from me. That's what she said. I then found out that she was reading smutty books. I confronted her about it. She was reading porn. It was just written porn instead of visual porn. She said that it was never about the sex. She only liked the story. I then found out that she created a TikTok account dedicated to these books where she posted multiple videos raving about the guys in these books, including one that she said, "My crush doesn't even exist," and held up the smutty book. And I confronted her. She said that it was only for clout. I then found out that she was actually masturbating to these books. I confronted her, and she said it was only the actions. It had nothing to do with the actual guy or anything. She said she only liked the story, but yes, she was masturbating to it, which she views as cheating. Then I found out that she was also watching and masturbating to porn, which, mind you, I don't think I'd have any issue with if I wasn't brainwashed as a child by her that porn and masturbating was cheating. I confronted her. She said I wasn't giving her what she needed. Before, I made a point to make sure I asked her what she needed. And if she was finished and if it was good enough. She always said yes, she was done. But that wasn't true.
We always say yeah.
She waited for me to go to the bathroom each night to finish on her own. I would have happily stayed if she told me she wasn't done, but she never gave me that opportunity. Now I have a ridiculous amount of self-esteem issues, and she refuses to admit that she cheated on me, even though that was her own definition of cheating. Whether that's what the world thinks or not, that was the boundary that she created, the line that she drew, and I tried to respect her for it. She promised to work with me through the healing process, answering questions, providing reassurance, working with a counselor, etc., which is why I still decided to marry her.
So this happened before they got married?
Now that we're married, she refuses to do any work. Instead, She went on a smear campaign with my name, making everyone in her circle think that I'm abusive for being shattered by this. She's convincing everyone that I'm controlling by expecting her to respect the boundaries that she created. She's turned everyone against me, and I still want to believe that she loves me. But she blames me for wanting to fight anytime I bring up my feelings or asking for clarification or asking for any questions to be answered. She blames me for drilling her with questions. She's lied to me forever. Then, after I learned the truth, she still lied to me and gaslit me into thinking that I was crazy and needed to be medicated for being hurt by her infidelity, by her own definition. Am I the asshole or am I overreacting? I just feel crazy. She's defeating me and I don't know what to do.
There's so many. There's just...
Look here.
I don't even know where to go with this.
Look here, my friend.
Okay. Now, this is... Yeah.
First things first, you guys have been together since you were in 7th grade.
That's the first problem. I'm sorry, because this is why experience is needed. This is why space is needed, because I can understand that perspective in 7th grade. But maybe at some point her mind did change and she was maybe felt like, nah, but I already got him to not watch it, so let me not let him know that my perspective has changed. But,
I think the rules apply for you, sir, but not for her. She doesn't like you looking at naked people. She doesn't like you watching porn. Now, we're in our mid-20s. I don't know how to say this, but to just say it, you were probably the only person that she's ever been with.
Yeah.
And clearly, she is wanting experience.
But wants him in the house.
Okay. It just feels like y'all should have never gotten married.
Oh, I don't. Maybe I don't know if I'm being too much of a girl's girl, but I feel like there's a sense of accountability he has to take, because
him?
In terms of marrying her, you're still gonna marry her after.
Yeah,
that's silly. That's the point when it's you stayed with this person. Where I don't agree with her. I'm huge on correct your partner in private. Don't shame them in public. So for her to publicly be talking to people about this, I'm not sure how she expected a TikTok to go under the radar.
Girl.
But yeah, let's be smart. I'm sorry.
Not only is she making a TikTok about the smut books, girl, you are masturbating to the smut books and letting the people on the tick know.
I feel like there's a point of shame when you're from the husband's perspective. Why do you keep wanting to find out more? At this point, you're hurting yourself. How did we get to the point of you finding out she's masturbating to this? How do we get? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. At some point, I don't want to hear anymore. No one else.
He has been being manipulated by this girl since he was in 7th grade. He feels like her word is bond, and it's you also have to make decisions yourself, sir. You need a backbone too, because clearly the person that wears the pants here is not you.
She just seems like someone that looks for loopholes. I think she thought she found a loophole because it's it's books and it's not. I don't know.
And I'm most flabbergasted by the fact that this happened before the marriage. She said, I'll go to counseling. I'll do whatever it needs.
I'll go talk to the lady.
Whatever we need to do. I'll talk to anybody. And then the moment you guys get married, I never said that. You're actually abusing me. What?
Actually?
What?
Listen, man. I want to have that kind of power when I grow up, because ain't no way that I would come on. This is crazy.
And I get it. You've known her since 7th grade. It can't be. You know her, right? But do you? Do you know her?
You know her as your girl.
You know
her. You know her.
You know her from being 13 years old. However old you are in 7th grade. But you don't know the woman that you're with now.
Listen,
that's what it seems
the
like.
The things I said I would never do when I was 14 compared to the woman I am now, completely different people. So
yeah. Why don't you both start watching porn?
That's why you got to spice it up. You want to read the books together, chapter for chapter.
She's saying that you don't fulfill her. She's reading fantasy books, basically, that have smut in it. Why don't you take her out, whisk her away, take her to a destination, come into the room with your lumberjack outfit on, do something.
Actually, I had an ex that we did the whole going to a bar and act like we didn't know each other type thing, and that we did there's ways to it's fun. It's fun. Try that. But spice it up a bit. Yeah. Or leave her.
At the end of the day, your husband and wife, she's your wife. There's no reason for her to ever think that it's okay for her to speak about you in an abusive manner, knowing that you are not abusing her. You're just really fucking confused. And what you guys need to actually be talking about is how to save your marriage.
Just going through the phone, because how does he even know all of this?
He needs his own therapist, these feelings of insecurity, and work through unwiring your brain in the way that it has been wired for so long to feel guilty about masturbation or feel guilty about these things that your wife is clearly doing. Sometimes you just need an unbiased opinion. I definitely think the conversation that needs to be had with the wife is, we need to work on how we're going to save this marriage, because I am about. And then we also need to talk about, if you feel unfulfilled within the relationship, you need to tell me about that and not just do things behind my back that we haven't agreed on.
Yeah, because certain boundaries clearly need to be changed. There needs to be like a level of equality in what's going on, because
Can't believe it, girl.
Not gonna work. Listen, I know women gaslight, okay? I'm not here to say we're innocent, but every time I hear some of the methods that women do, I'm just like, you're bold. You're bold.
She said even seeing nudity in a movie is cheating. So he wasn't even watching the good movies. This girl is so desperate for her experience. It's insane. She's just so desperate to feel anything different, anything new, any kind of spice. It just seems like maybe you've grown up in a small town. You know, this is what people do. You marry the first love and stuff like that.
That's what it's giving, which is all cute and fairy tale. But I'm sorry, we are humans, and there is experience that we need in life and in sex, and I just feel like clearly this just seems like y'all are the only two that each other has touched, and now there's temptation there that needs to be dealt with.
Yep. And before it gets there, you guys need to figure out this marriage. At a point, she's going to want a fantasy to become a reality.
I feel like, as a woman, I'm sorry, we are getting Oscars for how we fake it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are. So for a woman to come out flat and say, like, I don't enjoy this, that means she really does not enjoy this. And she's probably really like, damn, I'm going to have to deal with this for the rest of my life. Like,
yeah.
So not saying there's anything wrong with you. Sometimes things just aren't compatible. Sometimes you just got to learn your woman a little better. Maybe she got to learn you a little bit better. But there's definitely something there that needs to be tapped into, because blessings to you.
Blessings to you. I want to give a shout out. Let me send a blessing, give a shout out to one of our subscribers on YouTube.
Yes, Miss Alexis.
Yep. This is our YouTube, you guys. If you have not watched our most recent episode, please go ahead and watch that. Yes. Alexis Garcia, 1344. I want to shout you out for your comments and also letting us know that you have watched the episode, because okay, look at this. The episode has been watched. We will be responding to you. We just need time to dissect
your take on all of this.
So, we will love to hear more from you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. It really does mean a lot to us. So I just want to shout out Alexis. Are there any blessings that you want to send today?
As we talked about in the beginning of the episode, I want to just send blessings to everyone that's being affected with what's going on with these ICE raids. Let's just stay strong. Let's stay together. Anyone who might have fear, which is totally understandable. Hopefully there's more platforms like this that create this safe space that you understand. If anyone's by your side, we're by your side. So sometimes that's all people need to hear. So sending blessings, and blessings to our podcast. I hope more people comment, like, subscribe, keep supporting us.
Yes. And we are better together, you guys.
Yes.
Let's stop acting like that's not the case. Spread a little love.
Love, always love.
Share a little love. All right. See you guys next week.
All right. Bye, y'all.